Alright, my friend, so in today's video I'm going to show you my Manfrotto tripods number 3046, and this one is also a 3046, but I want to show you some of the differences. I knew I wanted a heavy-duty tripod. Remember that the Manfrottos are considered semi-professional, so they can be very expensive, and they do have a reputation of being good quality, very good quality for different purposes: photography, videography, filming, and stuff like that. And I want you to see that there are differences, even though they have the same number, 3046. They do have differences because there is a type 1 and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. The one I have here is going to be a type 1, and the one I have here is going to be, I think it's going to be more of a type 3, 4, and 5. Now, it was very difficult to, even from the website that I found this on, to distinguish 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely one was very different, and but the other ones are a little bit more difficult to understand, even though they have pictures of them. They almost look the same, the 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, I also want you to take a look at 028L, 028, and 028B, and also the 3246 models, okay? The 3246 models, because those models, the 28 ones, they're going to be the type 1, but they're going to have legs in black, okay? The 3246 models, this is 3046, but the 3246 are going to be black in color, black legs, but there are still the type 1s and then the other types, which are going to have the same differences as these two. And yes, it is very important for you to know what the differences are, because if you are buying one of these for a specific reason, then you need to know what I'm going to tell you. Now, I bought them because, like I said, I just wanted something heavy, and I ended up buying this one for like super cheap. I don't even want to tell you how cheap it was. It was criminally cheap, and this one was really, really cheap also. And but it turns out that they're different. So to begin with, let's look at the height here, and we're going to extend it all out, and then look at the height here. Okay, this one is a little bit lower than this one. At this point here, I believe that was going to be, give me 1 second. Okay, so this one is going to be, from right here, it's going to be 28 and a half, and this one's going to be 29 and 3/4. So it's a little over an inch taller. And also, we're going to take a look at the legs here. Now, this one here has these little rubber pieces. You can retract them, make it shorter. And the same thing with these here. You can make them, you can retract them and make them shorter a little bit, where you just have a point. You see that? Okay, so they both do this, exactly the same thing. You have that little point. But if you've already noticed something, this one here, which is a 345, I'm going to call it the 345 models or types, and this is for the same 3246. Remember, 3246 has the same thing, but it's just in black. It has this part here where this one doesn't. This is the type 1, okay? And that's going to be a huge difference and a huge reason for that difference in a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at these as we extend them out and start seeing some things. So I've extended these to the first part. And again, the left, the type 345, is a little bit taller than the type 1 here. This is about 49 inches. This is almost 50 inches, so it's just a little bit taller. And these legs are also a little bit longer than these legs on a type 1. And the space that they are taking up, let me see here. You're looking at about 39 inches. For this one's about 39 inches. And this one here is about the same. They're both about the same space. For those of you who are concerned about how much space something is taking up, so it's basically about the same, and they are only a very little bit of difference. But let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the other differences before we really start racking up some of the differences. So to begin with, they both have this nut here, which locks the post in place. Those of you who have, like myself, if you put something heavy on your tripod, your regular tripod, you can push it down if you don't lock it. It has the same nut here to lock it into place. Okay, same thing. And to crank it up, this is the hand lever. This is the type 1. If you see this, okay, and then also this little switch looking thing, that's going to be the type 1. Type 2 has no switch, and it has a bigger round type of handle here. Okay, you see that? That is what you have to push down to close the crank hand for storage. And yes, to open it up, you can't just pull it open. You gotta push. See, it says push, and it locks into place. This one here, to close it, you need to push this lever down, and there it is. But to open it, you can just pull it. Now, maybe I don't. You might have had to have pushed this back as well. Okay, you might have had to have pushed this back as well, but given its age, maybe it's a little bit worn out. Maybe if you want to, you can push this back. Now, to crank it up, you just crank up. Okay, you just crank it up like this. But to crank it down, you see how this is moving as well? You need to pull that down, and as you're holding it down, you can crank it down. So you kind of need both hands for this one. All right, let's go ahead and raise it up all the way. So you need both hands for this one, which I suppose can be considered a little bit annoying, I guess. Okay, and then we're there. We're all set. Now for this one, it's just a good old-fashioned hand crank. No locking, latch or lever over there. The movement is a little bit smoother on this one, and we're going to see in a second why. Okay, so there, it's locked. Now, both of these have these really nice gear teeth here, which of course gives you a little bit more accuracy or smaller increments of movements. But this one here, the Type 234 or 345, Type 345 is also more hexagonal or 3 angles, 4 angles. I don't know. It's got flat parts. It's not exactly round. Where this one is round, except for the gears here. Okay. Now, if this is loose, this does tend to shake a bit or move. And so what you want to do always is to lock this. And same thing with this one here. It moves, as you can see, and you just lock it into place, and it doesn't move anymore. Now this one, sorry I didn't say it, you don't need to pull any lever to move it down. Okay, so that's I guess that's a nice feature. But again, you'd want to lock it into place. All right, and what I have there, if I didn't mention it, because I did do a video on my the Manfrotto Bogen fluid heads 3063 models. Just did a video on that, and I'm showing you a video on the differences here, just in case you have a particular reference so far. It pretty much looks the same, except that's a type 1, and this is the type, I'm going to say 345. The pictures, that's the best I can do, is the pictures and the descriptions tell me 345. And the post is thicker and different angle, different shape. And let's take a look at how high was this. Let's give this a second here. Okay, now mind you, I am on uneven, slightly uneven, but this is 67 and 3/4. This is 69 and 3/4. So, and I'm measuring from about right here. Okay, I'm measuring from about right here. So 67 and 3/4 and 69 and 3/4. So I don't know, an inch or so, something like that. Or 69, yeah, something like that. So it's pretty tall already, as you can see. You know, you need a ladder or whatever for this kind of stuff. But for those of you that are looking for fluid heads, I guess you know what you're looking at. And these are for videoing, I suppose, from what I've heard. And let's take a look at the last huge difference between these two. And this is what I mean about how you need to know which one you're looking for, because now we're going to get to the real nitty gritty, which I showed you earlier with the legs here, in case you didn't know this about these particular tripods. And now you see it. Now you see the huge difference between the Type 1 and the Type 3, 4, 5. That one on the left is like 8 feet tall. Very, very tall. And I didn't even measure how, oh yeah, I did. I said like, 67 and 3/4 on the right. I'm not even going to go that high, but that thing is like 8 feet tall. That's how much I've measured it before. 8 feet tall. So that is a huge difference between the Type 1s and the 3, 4, and 5s. Same thing with the other model number that I was giving you, 3246, was it? I wrote it down, but it's your job to remember. 3246, it's just in black. The Type 1 is going to be like the right in black. The Type 3, 4, 5 is going to be like the one on the left, but in black. And these are the 3046 tripods. So now you can see the difference. So hopefully you won't make the mistake of buying the wrong one if you need something huge mungus. And the one on the left, I had it for like 2 years almost before I realized, oh, I can get it that high. Yeah. So if I can make the mistake of buying the wrong, something that I don't need, you can make the mistake of buying the wrong one that you don't need and or expecting the other one. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, I'm going to end up selling this one on the left because I don't need it. And anyway, my friends, if you have any questions, hit me up. But Type 1, Type 345 in the Manfrotto 3046. And then the black, the 3246. Shit, I forgot already. But anyway, I'll write it down. And I hope you like my video. If you have any questions, I'll see what I can answer. Thank you.